should you be working out while you're fasting? And if so, what should those workouts look like? Let's talk about it. All right, fuckers, Josh here, Uncaged Fighters. So let's talk about another one of those questions I get quite often. And really, it's not just one question. We're going to kind of address a series of questions. They're all kind of interrelated, right? So one of the questions I get, and I get it way too fucking often for considering the fact that in nearly every single one of the videos in which I discuss fasting, I also talk about doing fasted training and working out and lifting and doing kickboxing while fasted. So I'm not sure why people continue to ask this, but I get asked very frequently, you know, can you still work out during your fast? And I mean, the short answer is yes, obviously, obviously you can work out. Related question is, should you work out? And that's maybe a more appropriate question. To kind of answer that one, should you work out while you're fasted? I think definitely you should. When you look at people's results with prolonged extended fasts, and when you look at the research regarding prolonged and extended fasting, you'll find that people get the best results. They maintain the most muscle mass. They lose the most fat when they are also doing some form of exercise alongside their fasts. So actually during the fasted period. So let's take a 72-hour fast, for example. You should be fasting. Let's say you're doing a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday fast. Okay, 72 hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You should be working out at least Monday and Wednesday. I'd like you to see, if you could work yourself up to doing a Monday, a Tuesday, and a Wednesday workout. So yeah, so definitely your outcome certainly is going to be much better in terms of maintaining your current level of muscle mass, dropping fat, and dropping fat in all the right kind of places, right? So that midsection area, ladies, kind of around the thighs, midsection, that's where you definitely should be working out. So to answer that one, yes, you both can and you should be working out. Another question that gets asked a lot, and this one's certainly much more understandable, is, what type of working out should I be doing? So this is a bit of a loaded question, and I think that we'll address this with also, what should the difficulty levels of those workouts be? How hard should those workouts be? So I really feel like you should be doing a combination of strength training and cardiovascular training while you're fasting. You could do just cardio training back over, just prior to last summer when I kind of did my big fast when I lost that 40 pounds, right? I mainly did cardio. I did a little bit of strength training. I did some small amounts of strength training, maybe 1 to 2 times a week. But most of my training really was cardiovascular type training, and that was kickboxing based training. So like hitting the heavy bag, doing a lot of shadow boxing, doing some light sparring work, stuff like that, pad work, things like that. So it's really very cardiovascular, intense work, not so much strength training. And I got good results with it. The level of impact and the kind of resistance you get from hitting a heavy bag, hitting pads, I think that may have been, allowed me to maybe maintain a specific look to my frame than maybe if I had just gone out and did like distance runs. You know, I probably would have seen some major differences in how my body looked. My shoulders wouldn't have been maybe as pronounced and as well defined as they were. You know, my abs probably wouldn't have been as well defined because I wasn't kicking as much. But you know, you certainly could do like just running, or you know, just swimming, or just rowing, or whatever cardio, whatever, you know, whatever type of cardio is your poison. But I would encourage you to do some sort of strength training. You know, because that is really what's going to ensure that you, especially as a guy, that you're getting the kind of look that you want. Guys, we want the broad shoulders and the smaller waist, you know, with the six-pack showing, you know, thicker arms, things like that. The strength training is what's going to ensure that you come closer to that look than maybe just pure cardio. But you know, when you look at when you look at some of the research that's been done on extended fasting or like alternate day fasting, stuff like that, groups that they've looked at groups that do resistance training, and they've looked at groups that do like they call it endurance exercise, and usually that means putting someone on a stationary bike for extended period of time. But that seems to, just the effect of the exercise seems to help maintain muscle mass over not doing anything at all. And it doesn't, as far as I can tell, there doesn't seem to be like a huge difference. Just, you know, from the research. There's not a ton of research out there, you know, on this in the first place. I'll link some at the bottom of this video, but it's not a whole lot. And you know, some of the ways in which they measured skeletal muscle, they actually used BMI, so it's kind of hit or miss. Cole's stuff, where he actually got DEXA scanned, is a much better indicator of, you know, what you can expect if you're doing resistance training and fasting. So I would actually go to Cole Robinson's Snake Diet channel and look at some of his videos where he actually got DEXA scanned before and after his fasting experiments. So that I feel like does a lot better. I don't think I've found anything research-wise where they actually got DEXA scanned. So there's that. And again, so how hard should the exercise be? How difficult should it be? And you know, anyone who's done extended fasting knows. And again, going back to the research shows that there's going to be a performance drop. You know, you're just not taking in the calories. Your body is primarily burning fat as a fuel source. You know, and you're not going to be able to put in the same kind of effort that you can when you're eating regularly. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So I would not try to push yourself like you would if you were eating, if you were on a maintenance, or if you were on like a caloric maintenance or a caloric surplus. I would not try to exercise at that level. When it comes to lifting, you know, I mean, I'd probably limit it to like a hard limit of 30 minutes. Honestly, with cardio and with lifting, I would do a hard stop at 30 minutes per day. And you know, when you're lifting, you know, I would drop your weights probably to about 60% of whatever your max is. So 60% of your 8 rep max, or 60% of your 1 rep max, just depending on like what your style of training is like, right? So if you're like more of a power lifter style of training, you're more concerned with strength, we'll go off of 60% of your 1 rep max should be kind of what you're working with. And probably drastically reducing your volume too. You know, maybe cutting your volume in half, you know, I wouldn't go, you know, yeah, half is probably safe. And, you know, if you're more like the bodybuilding style, go with your 8 rep max and go with about 60% of your 8 rep max. And again, keep your volume fairly low. Usually the bodybuilder guys, you guys like the volume. You know, keep it a little bit on the lower side. You're a little more acclimated to that volume, so you could probably get away with a little bit more. But again, we just really don't want to be pushing yourself, because that is when, and I found a teeny bit of research. It's not a great study, but it does seem to indicate that too much like hardcore resistance training can result in some statistically significant muscle loss, and we want to avoid that. So, you know, keep up your weight training to make sure that you're still moving and you're keeping up the practice. And so, you know, once you come off the fasting diet, that you're not, you know, you go right back in the weight room and then you're sore as shit and you just feel miserable, your technique's off, all that. We don't want to do that. So, you know, you want to make sure that you keep up the practice. You're still moving. You're still giving your muscles that stimulus. You're still telling it, listen, we need that mTOR activation, right? You need all these good little metabolic mechanisms that get signaled when you do engage in strength training. So we want those things. So please continue to do it. You know, and even if you haven't been strength training prior to starting this fasting, taking up a little bit of strength training, go easy. Don't try to hit it hard and heavy right from the beginning, but go easy. Yeah, definitely go into that. Definitely get into the strength training. It's beneficial in so many different ways, outside of just losing weight and maintaining good body composition. So yeah, so definitely do that. Yeah, so you know, can you, should you, what type of exercise, how hard? Another one, last one that we're going to address in this video is, should you work out before or after your refeeds? So this is going to vary depending on how you do your fasting schedule. Now, typically, I just do rolling 72s. Some people will do rolling 48. Some people will do alternate day fasting. So that's going to be a little bit different. But for me, when I do my rolling 72s, I actually, you know, so let's say, again, so let's say Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm fasted. Wednesday evening, I'm going to eat. Well, I'll work out before I actually eat. And the reason, there's a few reasons I do this. One is because generally, depending on like kind of how when I fast, I give myself that 1 hour window. I give myself that OMAD window, and I eat a lot. I can actually fit a lot of food. A lot of food volume can kind of go into my gut, and working out after that is not going to happen. Two, what a lot of people find, especially when the fast goes 72 hours or more, is that when you go to eat, sometimes that triggers you to have to go to the bathroom, the number 2. Okay, so that's not really conducive to working out. So I don't really like doing it. But working out before, again, you know, you're already in a fasted state, right? And so you're getting the benefits from that fasted state workout. And when you go to eat, you're already, you know, you've been fasting for so long. You throw on all the additional metabolic benefits of working out on top of what you'd already been working on with the fast, and then you go to eat, your body is going to take those nutrients and it's going to put them to their highest and best use. Okay, so you can pretty much guarantee that none of it's going to be stored as fat. If you're worried about that, you shouldn't be worried about it. It's not really a concern. But even if you were, you can pretty much be guaranteed that all those nutrients are going to be shuttled exactly where they need to go. So definitely, especially for the you know, get that workout in before the refeed. And I mean, really, that's going to be true for the folks that do like the warrior style diet, where it's basically just an OMAD style diet. It's going to be true for the people who are doing rolling 48s. It's going to be the people who are doing, you know, alternate day fasting, stuff like that. So, you know, before the workout, it's going to be the most effective time to get your workouts in. So before the refeed, best time is when you're going to get that workout in. So that's all I have for this video. Keep the questions, comments coming. I like seeing them. I like responding to them. And if you like this video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It definitely helps out. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.